Oh, hey. All right, everybody. So I went live a little bit ago and everybody started writing in. Everybody was asking me, what the heck is going on today? What's the problem? So the problem is this. The problem is that over the weekend, we find out that there's all these new cases of the coronavirus. And I have some friends, some of my close friends, who find it hilarious to joke on Twitter or wherever else. Stephen Place, I'm looking at you, that it's all overblown and that people, but I think it's useless to speculate about whether it's coming to the United States or whether it's out of control or what, it's useless. It's important to concentrate on what is actually happening. And so I want to look at the charts and I want to describe how the emotion and the psychology of this pandemic filters in through the charts. And I want to give you some ideas about where I think things go from here, because I think there are some super important levels. And we're going to save a lot of this conversation for tomorrow. But if we look at the charts here, this is the S&P. And I want you to get a really, really great look at this chart, because there is a super important trend line down here. This is the S&P, this is the SPY. This is headed to 310. That's this trend line down here. That's a giant market crash. That's a ultra significant, more than 15% decline. The relative strength index isn't even all the way oversold, and it can get much worse than that. And that trend line has proven over and over and again to be a reliable area of support. And guess what? It's already broken the first trend line that we could have had. These moves like this tend to have a 48-hour shelf life. You gotta decline right here in, well, let's just grab the date here. Let's just look at the dates. So we got a decline that was, what was it? January 24th or so. So we got a decline already once. And this is what happened. You get a 48-hour move. You get 48 good hours to sort of maximize that move. There's the first move, and then there's a little bit of a retracement, and then there's that second leg of it where people realize that the bears have temporarily grabbed control. They have the market by the throat. I am currently in some trades that I was super excited about. So let's see if I can pull up the old Robinhood. So today, up $8,633. You and I are probably equally excited about that. We're probably going to give some of this money away tomorrow on our live stream. But what I did was, I don't like trading the SPY. What I like doing is trading the UVXY, which makes me a complete moron, and people make fun of me all the time. But I think we know who's laughing now, because right now I'm up $8,470. But I think the UVXY has the potential. I think we can see UVXY go. This is not a trade recommendation. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all traders. Click the link below for the coaching program if you want to take this trade when I take it together with me. But listen, there is a missed monthly pivot sitting out there. Just this delicious, fat, delicious missed monthly pivot for the month of November. And that's at $23.75. That's $8 higher than where it is now. That would mean my trade probably appreciates by 3 times, probably $24,000 more in profit. I am 100% certain if this is a $57,000 trade, we're going to give away a car. Like, I will take that money out and we will just give away a car. I got to pay taxes on that money, but I think we should do that. If that's it's not going to be a $57,000 trade. I mean, if tomorrow morning the UVXY opens at 30, then we're going to give away a car. But I would share that money with all of you. I think that seems like a completely reasonable thing. We also, if you look back over at the Robinhood account, we also had a trade on, I don't mind sharing this. I also closed a trade on my Thinkorswim account today, but we can take a look at that tomorrow. I also closed a Sony put, I closed a Verizon put, I sold a Johnson Controls buy. All of those were recently pretty great ones. But look at, I mean, Sony is just getting crushed today. And this is not a 48-hour trade. This has now turned into what looks like an extended bear trend. So if that move lasts more than 48 or 72 hours, this was an Exotics Club trade. If you're not a member of the Exotics Club, we are on fire as far as that's concerned. I don't even think you can join the Exotics Club. I don't even know. Like last fall, we had tons of trades that took forever to complete and didn't go well and whatever else. And then from January onward, it's just been ripping. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You get this, if the move lasts more than that 48 hours. So if you get this initial like correction, you jump up like it did here, and then the move lasts for a couple of weeks or even longer than just a few days, it's just insane. Then you're in full-blown bearish trend territory. And if Sony recovers back to like 68, then I'm in for a long haul downward slope. I mean, imagine, I don't want any of this to happen, but imagine if like supply chains are cut and, container ships can't get out of China, or, I mean, imagine if martial law is imposed. I mean, especially those stocks, those Asian names, those ones are the big ones. I was also short Verizon. I got really interested in shorting Verizon because I thought, Sprint and T-Mobile are going to merge and Verizon's going to get hurt. Apparently Verizon is untouchable. And this one was just the 48 hours. Like it dropped, it recovered, and then it dropped again, and that was the end of the trade, and it was good enough for me. It was completely reasonable and totally awesome. I got tons of other stuff going on. I was short the EWI, the Italy. Coming into all of this, I was short. I was down $2,000 last week. Today I'm up. Well, I think today I finally got to close it with a small profit or close to break even or whatever. But I waited on this one forever, and I waited and I waited and I waited and I hung on to it, and I knew I liked the trade, and I took a lot of flack for it, and some people thought it was stupid, and I was trading against the trend, and I'm an idiot, and what do I know? And then, of course, I talked myself into putting a limit order to close it out when it's at break even, and we wake up this morning and it's down like 10% in one day. So that's the other one. Anyway, so how long, what's the QQQ, what's this up to today? I haven't looked at it. I mean, it's just getting ripped open. It's like an alien ripping out of the chest of an astronaut, right? This is going down to the missed monthly pivot, the unhit monthly pivot for the month of February, which is at like just below 220. That's going to 219. I mean, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all traders. And this is not a trade recommendation. And sure, it could bounce and blah, 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 blah. But that is an unhit monthly pivot. And it's so close to it now that it has to hit it. It has to hit it. It wants to hit it. It wants to be there. It's a magnet. The next target after that is like 208. If it hits 208, there'll be people running around Wall Street with their head on fire. So I think it's a 48 to 72 hour trade that can reach these near-term targets. And then I think you have to wait and see, because then if it's a bearish trend, which it's hard to imagine, interest rates are so low and the world is awash in liquidity created by central banks. So it's hard to imagine the trends turning bearish. I mean, it's impossible for me to imagine. So there is some recovery at some point. And at that point, when it does drop to 219, or if we do have a second leg that drops to 214 or 208, that buy trade opportunity, that is like, I'm going to buy every call option on QQQ that I can find that's like the 225s or whatever. I'll just back the truck up and spend what's left of the $57,000 after we buy somebody a car. Oh, my hair. Every time the market goes down, my hair goes down with it. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you got through today. Let me know if you're part of the Exotics Club and you were in Sony, or if you're in the coaching program. There's only a few of you in there. If you're in the UVXY, let me know how you're doing. And stay tuned, because tomorrow at 10 a.m. we're going to go live. We're going to give away some of the money from this UVXY trade. If it's up a ton tomorrow, I imagine... Probably, my wife told me never offer to give away a car again without talking to her first. So I apologize, sweetheart, and I'm not giving away a car. I'm not actually doing that. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us, everybody. We'll be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. We'll give away some prizes. We'll give away some money. We'll help some people out. We may send out an email tonight and have you write in and tell us your story and tell us what you would do if we gave you $100 or $500 or help someone in need. In fact, let's just do it right now. Send me an email. Here's the email address. rob@wrbooker.com. So here's how it works, folks. It'd be between $500 and $1,000. Don't have it be for you. If you write in and just tell me why you need it, my answer is going to be save your money, get a job, take some trades. But if we want to do something for someone else, if you can identify somebody else in your life that has more need than you, remember there's always somebody doing better than you, and there's always somebody doing worse than you. But if you could identify somebody else around you in your family or in your life that could change their lives, then write us at rob@wrbooker.com. Holly will check the email account, and we'll pick some people. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But that's the way to get a hold of us. Make sure you just identify a story or some way that we can help somebody else in your life change their lives or do something good for them. Thanks so much for being here with us, everybody. I got to go. I'll be back at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Stay safe. Be careful. Don't buy the dip. Don't buy the dip. Don't go bananas and buy the dip. Don't go out and don't go out and chase gold today. Everybody's asking me where's gold going. Gold is going to GLD is going to 200. Gold's going to $2,000. Gold's going to $2,500. But it's not going there today. And you don't chase the move. This is an extraordinary move. It's a trend, obviously. This is probably wave 5 of that trend. So there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably the 5th wave of the trend. There's probably some kind of significant pullback if and when it does go higher. And because interest rates are low, and because the central banks of the world are pumping money into the economy, and because the European Central Bank stands ready to shove $1 billion down the throat of 30 different banks, and because that will just end up in the stock markets of the world, gold will fall from here. So it's like chasing after this move is probably not your best bet, and there's probably a lot of other better places that we can look to do things. But eventually I am going to shout from the rooftops that it's time to buy gold. And the time to buy gold in this move was like the December 20th of 2019. So stay tuned. We'll see you at 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, everyone. Send us an email, rob@wrbooker.com, and we'll see if we can help somebody out that's in your life. I'll see you later. Bye for now, everybody. So we just wait like 10, 9, 8. Just make sure everybody, we close out here and we don't cut me off mid-sentence.